Imagine having your own AI employee who can do tedious tasks like prospecting without breaking a sweat. Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to create custom actions for your GPTs without any coding required. And by the end of this video, you'll have a powerful tool that can work around the clock for your business. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Matt, and I'm really passionate about creating AI solutions for businesses, especially on the sales and marketing side of things. And today we're going to be building something really special. We're going to be building an outreach specialist that has 4 custom tools. The first one is to do industry research based on the industry that we're looking for and the services that we provide. The second one is going to be able to do company research based on the URL of that company. The third one is going to be able to find leads based on that company. So if you're looking for a specific title in that company, is going to be able to find that person for you, including their LinkedIn message. And fourth is going to be able to create a custom connection request message for that lead that it found from before. So it's going to be able to do a lot of different things, and I'm really excited to show all of this to you guys. So why don't we jump into the computer right away? All right, so before we start jumping over to creating the custom actions themselves, let's start setting up our custom GPT. So as you guys can see, I have ChatGPT open right here, and you want to click on the left-hand side and click on Explore GPTs, and you're going to click over here on the top right hand side on create. For you to create these custom GPTs, you do need the ChatGPT Plus subscription, which I believe costs around $20. But with that said, it's going to open up this page, and I'm going to run on this part a little bit quicker because I did make a video of a very similar custom GPT creation for sales teams as well. With a custom action, but this time we're going to be focusing on creating the custom actions themselves. And if you want to check out that video where I create this custom GPT and explain this part a little bit further, you can just go and click on the card over here and just watch that video as well. You're going to be able to have a better grasp of what we're creating over here. Okay, so I've put some information here on our custom GPT. For the name, I'm going to just leave it as an outreach assistant for Matt Recruiting. Matt Recruiting is a hypothetical recruiting agency that I created for purposes of this video. And the description we have here is help salespeople at Matt Recruiting with all lead generation efforts. The description does not affect the functionalities of this GPT. What actually does is the instructions that we have over here. On our first line, we have a role prompt. Essentially, we're just giving this custom GPT a role saying that is an award-winning outreach specialist, and then right after that we have some information on Matt Recruiting, and then after that we're going to include some information on how it should use our tools. We're not going to include any custom knowledge base for this custom GPT, but I'm going to leave the parts for the tools a little bit for later on because I want to show you what these tools actually do. We've also created some conversation starter just based on the tools that we're going to have. And let's jump over to Relevance AI. There is a free trial, so once you open this up, you just click on try it for free, and then you go from there. They also have agents, which is kind of essentially what we're building, but hosted in their platform and done in a little bit of a different way. I am in the process of making a video about that as well. So once that video is out, I'm going to include it in the card above. So just click on that if you're watching this video after a while since it has been published. All right, so once it clicks on login, it's going to open up this blank page. It has a few agents. This is the only one I've tried so far. But you're going to click on the top right hand corner and you're going to click on templates. So these templates are all the types of tools that you can use to create the actions of your custom GPT. And essentially what we're doing, we're bundling 4 of them, right? The ones that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. And they can all be found under the sales category. And I'm going to show you guys each one of these tools as of right now. All right, so the tools that we have industry research, which is this one, company research based on website, research company and find leads, and LinkedIn requests based on LinkedIn posts or LinkedIn profile. And as you guys can see, most of these tools, once you click on the use, it's going to pop up like this. I've tested this out. You click on run tool and it runs the tool and it gives you the output that is going to give and actually show it to you on your custom GPT. Obviously, we're going to change this information, but what I really wanted to show you guys here is that one thing that's common across the board, or almost all across the board from these tools that we have, is this context about my product and service. So we have it here in industry research. We have it here in company research. We don't have it here in company leads, but we have it as well on the LinkedIn request message. And this information is information that we don't want to input all the time when we're creating this custom GPT. So what we're going to do is we're going to clone all of these and we're going to edit them on the back end so we can have a cohesive and nice interaction with the user where the user doesn't have to input this all the time, this information. And let me show you guys what that actually looks like on Relevance AI. So let's take this industry research, for example. Once you clone that to edit, it's going to open up this page that allows you to see the build and the automation itself. And here you can see the inputs that you have and the steps that it does to find the output that you're requesting it to do, right? So it runs a Google step and an LLM step, really simple automation. And essentially what we're going to do, we're going to view all inputs, and this context about my product and service, we're going to delete. Once we delete that, it's going to pop up this little message saying that we have an invalid parameter. This is the important part because we're going to go over here and find out what the invalid parameter is. And it's this one, product context. So we're going to go ahead and delete this. But we're not going to leave this field empty because we don't want to mess up too much the template that was built from before. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our GPT and we're going to copy this context that we've included on our instructions, and we're going to bring it over to the Relevance AI part. We're just going to paste it over here and delete this over here. So we're going to do the same thing. Once that has been done, I do recommend that we test it out. So I'm just going to give it a little test before I do the same thing on the other tools. And I'm going to say healthcare recruiting for my industry name, and we're going to run all. And nice, we have a really nice output over here. The top healthcare recruiting trends for 2023 and 2024 indicate several challenges and opportunity in the industry. Remote work, strong employee brand is key, and a few other things. Really nice. It really understands what we're trying to do here. So once you've tested this out, you just go here and click on save. If you want to just make this a little bit easier, just turn on your autosave function. It makes your life a little bit easier. I like to create this without the autosave on because sometimes when I'm editing these templates, I make a lot of changes, and in the process of making a lot of changes, you can kind of like ruin the whole template, right? Or change the output so much that if you have the autosave on, it's really hard for you to go back on what you have. So I personally prefer saving things as I go. So I'm just going ahead and cloning all of the other tools over here, and we're gonna go through this process of editing these templates together. This one is the company research based on website. We're gonna do the same thing, context about my product and service. Delete that. Creates a little bit of an issue again. Just go down here and change that as well. I'm just gonna delete this, copy this part. We're gonna move it over. Don't forget to save. Research company and find leads. Oh, this is the one that we actually don't need to edit. So we're gonna leave this one as it is. All right, so this last template that we're using, the personalized LinkedIn request with LinkedIn post or LinkedIn profile, I've noticed it from before that it has a little bit of an issue, and I'm gonna show it to you guys. I'm gonna run the entire thing. As you guys can see over here on the left-hand corner, is a ton of steps for this one. And it does have a little bit of an issue. It has a code error on this JavaScript. And let me show you how to fix that first before you import what you're doing into your custom GPT. What I did, and it worked, was to change this step over here, the get a LinkedIn profile or company post. You expand, and then you just, this option over here that says, should this step be run, and it's optional, you just select it as remove condition, which will make the step mandatory. Essentially, this whole process over here, what it does, it scrapes the LinkedIn profile that you gave for their recent posts, and then it scrapes the LinkedIn profile for the information on their profile. And then this very last step, which gave us an error message, evaluates if we were able to create a LinkedIn connection request based on those posts. And if we were, it's going to prioritize that. If it wasn't, it's going to prioritize the LinkedIn request based on the profile. But since that step is optional, it sometimes does not run. So I hope that explanation made some sense. Essentially, this part over here, this last bit of code just says exactly what it says over here on step 6. It prioritizes the LinkedIn post and it falls back on the LinkedIn profile. But because that step over here is an optional step, sometimes we don't have anything over here. So the code doesn't recognize that variable, and it kind of just outputs an error message, right? But once you have that solved, you're gonna actually take out two things from this template, which are the context about my product and services. Let's take that one out, and it's gonna create some little issues on the LLM and the company name. So essentially, once you take that out, you're gonna go over the steps that have this little red warning sign, and you're gonna just input the information as we did for the other steps. The only difference being that now you're gonna have to input the name of your company as well, and sometimes, to be honest, is not even necessary. As you guys can see, there is still like a red warning sign on the left-hand corner here, but sometimes it kind of just leaves that over there even though you have taken out the input variable that it needs. All right, so once you have done that, I do recommend to run the entire tool and see what comes up from this, and just see if the tool is actually working, because if you did miss something, it will pop up. All right, so it has a little bit of an output over here. So it says, "Hi Benedict, your expertise in AI technology and experience in sales operations and market research caught my attention. I'd appreciate the chance to connect and learn from your insights. Let's expand our networks." This is an okay connection request. Like, it's good enough for our purposes. It's funny because it kind of repeats this last little step, and there are clear instructions for it to not do that. But, you know, this is using ChatGPT 3.5, so sometimes there will be some issues like that. But the whole point of this is that it will create a connection request that is personalized for this person, and you can interact with ChatGPT to just adapt it and tweak it however you want, right? So once we've made sure that everything is saved, we're gonna go over to Relevance AI and click on Tools. This is just over here under Agents. And as you guys can see, we have all of the tools that we've created in the past and tried to create, but as a rule of thumb, the last ones that you've duplicated and created things from it are going to be the ones that are here. So we're looking at these last four, and we're going to go ahead and click on New, and it's going to open up this portion, and we're going to click on Custom Actions GPT, both on the top right hand corner. It's going to go a little bit over in some instructions, but essentially what we want to do is we want to select all the tools that we want to include in our custom GPT. So once you've selected all four of those, you're going to go down here, and we're just going to generate an API key. Copy that over here. You can follow along on this side as well. It's super easy once you get to this part. Go back to your GPT, and then we're going to click over here on Create New Action. We're going to open up Authentication, API Key, and we're going to paste that. So now we have to create the schema. All right, so we scroll down a little bit, go to Generate Open API Schema, and it's going to generate the schema. Just copy that, go back to the custom GPT, paste, and format. Okay, so it looks like everything is right. One thing that I did change is that when I imported this part over here from Relevance AI, there was one small change to make over here. So just typing in OpenAPI, this had 3.0.0, and I just changed it to 3.1.0. Hopefully it doesn't affect anything. It's the first time that I've had this notification, so that should be the only thing that you have to change as of right now. So now looking over our instructions part, we are going to paste this little part of the prompt that essentially says a little bit of a description of what our tool does, and just make sure to match this name over here with the name that you have down there on the description of the custom action. So for example, we have personalized LI request with LI post or LI profile, and we just go back down here and double check that as well. Exactly the same name. In fact, to be easier, just copy and paste this, and if you're interested in using this type of prompt, I can make this prompt available on a little Google Doc, and you guys can just let me know. Message me down below or shoot me an email. It's going to be down on the description as well, and I can send this over to you and see how I can help you guys build these custom tools for yourselves as well. Okay, nice. So it looks like we have most of the things ready. I'm just going to go over this privacy policy part as of right now, just to give you guys a little bit of an explanation before we publish this GPT, because I want to publish this GPT with all the information already there and it being available for anyone with the link. So first thing that we're going to do that I just did is copy the instructions over and go on to ChatGPT, and we're going to say, write me a privacy policy for my custom GPT. Here is some information on that GPT. And then we paste what we copied over. which is just the description, the instructions that we have for our GPT. And there it goes. It's creating a privacy policy for us. So just make sure that all the information here is correct, and you have like information over here as well. And what you're gonna do now is you're gonna head over to the description of this video and you're gonna click on Designer GPT. And once you click on Designer GPT, this window right here is gonna pop up, and we're gonna ask Designer GPT to host a website, a web page for our privacy policy. All right, so we're gonna give Designer GPT this prompt of create a web page including all of the following text. And essentially what it's gonna do is gonna ask us if we want any images. We're gonna say no images, please. And it's gonna go ahead and start creating our privacy policy for us. All right, there we go. So it did ask me if we want to export the page to this little software. I don't know if it's Replit. I don't know how to pronounce this, but essentially it did create us a privacy policy, and you just have to click on that link and it's going to open up Matt Recruiting GPT privacy policy. And we can actually use this link, I'm pretty sure, for all of the custom GPTs that we built. I'm quite sure on that. So once you create this once, it should be okay to keep it for the other GPTs as well. I'm not sure if OpenAI will create stricter restrictions on these privacy policies, but for right now, this process does work. So once you do have your link for your privacy policy, just do what I'm doing right now and head over to the custom actions and paste it over there. All right, so the last step that you can do over here is to create an icon. I'm gonna skip that for right now because DALL-E can take a while. And once you do share this, you just want to share with anyone with the link, save, and we're going to do our final test right now. We're going to click on View GPT, and I want to start by testing everything actually. So let's start by saying, help me understand the trends in the healthcare recruiting industry, to see if it's able to pull on the information that we need. All right, there we go. It has the 5 industry trends that we needed from before. And I'm actually going to leave this here for right now because I do plan on using this later on. All right, so we're going to test our second prompt over here. Can you provide me with a summary for this hospital? So as you guys can see, it did take information from the context that we gave it from before. And this is really great news. So we're going to try to take this further actually. And we're going to attempt our third tool over here. So let's see if we can find us leads. I said, find me the HR director for Fairview Health Complex. There we go. The HR director for Fairview Health Complex is Mary. Let's see her LinkedIn over here. All right, so as you guys can see, ChatGPT literally just found the executive vice president and chief of people officer for the company that we're looking for Fairview Health Services. And we're gonna go back and test out the last action that we wanted to test out, and we can say create a connection message for Mary. And there you go. Now we have the last little bit that I was planning on using the industry research for, and is this follow-up message that says I wanted to follow up on my connection request and share some insights from recent industry trends. And it kind of talks about the industry trends. Right off the gate, if that person connects to you, you're already delivering value to them, which is really, really good networking practices, I would say. And as you guys can see, we've automated so many tasks of outreaching through this GPT. And this is essentially augmenting the whole job description for salespeople at Matt Recruiting. Unfortunately, Matt Recruiting is a hypothetical recruiting agency, but if you do have a business and you see how valuable this type of AI automation can be to your business, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to work with one of you guys. As of right now, I am a one-man show. I'm figuring all of this out on my own. And I'd be more than glad to help you guys out, especially around marketing and sales. If you took some value out of this video, please don't hesitate to interact with it down below. And you can check out the other videos that we've made on the channel. One will be popping up over here as of right now. Feel free to take a look. I'm sure you're gonna take some value out of it. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.